Hi everyone, welcome to Little Diamond Yoga Stories with me, Megan. And Little Diamond Yoga Stories is all about learning a new story and doing some yoga poses as we go along. So copy the moves that I do and try to have some fun. Okay, let's start our yoga as we always do by crossing our legs and sitting on our bottoms and bringing our hands to our heart. And after 3 we'll say our yoga hello, namaste. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Well done. Now today's story is all about a crab. So let's go into our crab pose. Coming onto your bottoms with your legs bent in front of you so your knees are up. Take your hands and put them either side of your bottom. And then we're going to push our hips up and look up to the sky into our crab pose. The crab in our story today is called Carrie. Carrie lives, let's go into our house pose, standing with our feet slightly apart and our hands to our heart, 10 above your head into our house. Carrie lives at the beach. She loves living at the beach. She lives in a rock pool. Let's go into a rock pool pose, coming to lie on our tummies. And lifting our feet behind us and then stretching one hand round to hold one ankle and the other hand round to hold the other ankle and lifting into our rock pool pose. Carrie loves walking along the beach and going to see her friends. Jenna, the jellyfish. Let's go into a jellyfish pose, standing with our feet together. And then we're going to bend forward and let our arms drop down to show Jenna, the jellyfish. Sally, the seagull. Staying where you are, bring your hands together. And then open your arms and close them, showing your wings as Sally, the seagull. And finally, Mark, the mussel. Let's go into a mussel pose, all curled up on a rock, coming down onto your knees. I'm going to take our head onto the floor and tuck our arms in at our sides. Carrie loves her friends, and she also loves her rock pool home. She enjoys splashing in the water, coming to sit on your bottoms with your legs out straight and wide in front of you. Try and keep them nice and straight. And then bending forward and bang, bang, bang as you splash, splash, splash in the sea. Well done. Splashing in that rock pool of water, that sea water. Fantastic. She also enjoys pinching the seaweed that collects there. Crossing your legs and sitting up straight. We're going to take one hand and put it on the opposite knee and then twist to look over our shoulder and use your other hand to pinch some seaweed as if you're using Carrie's claw. Well done. Coming back to the front and then taking your other hand onto the opposite knee and looking over that shoulder and pinching some seaweed over there. Fantastic. Carrie also loves resting in her sandy bed. Let's go into a bed pose, coming onto your hands and knees. Trying to keep your back nice and straight to show that comfy bed, nice and flat. Carrie loves her beach, but recently come to sitting on your bottoms and hug your knees. Carrie has been feeling a little bit sad. She has noticed, take out your super spectacles, that when she looks around the beach, people have been leaving rubbish everywhere. Crossing your legs and take your arms out wide and begin to spin at your tummy round and round. There is rubbish everywhere and all around the beach. It's It's even going into the sea. Link your fingers together and then give your arms a wobble to show those waves going in and out. As those waves come into the beach, they're collecting rubbish and taking it out to sea. Carrie has also noticed that her rock pool is getting full of rubbish too. Let's go back into our rock pool pose, onto our tummies. Lifting those feet and reaching those arms around to hold those ankles. Carrie's rock pool isn't beautiful anymore. It's starting to get full of all sorts of rubbish. Carrie, let's go back into our crab pose. Onto our bottoms, with our knees bent up in front of us and our hands by our bottoms. And then pushing those hips up. Now, just like crabs do, Carrie walks along the beach from side to side. First this way, and then this way. Well done, onto your bottoms and cross your legs. She has a think about what she could do, rubbing your head as Carrie thinks about how to save her beach. She has an idea. She decides to collect the rubbish herself as she walks around the beach. Coming to standing with your feet together. Let's take 2 big steps. 1, 2. And then bending forward to pick up some rubbish. Trying to touch the floor if you can. Bend your knees if you need to. Standing back up. Let's carry on walking. 1, 2. And again, bending forward to pick up some more rubbish. Well done. And again. 1, 2. And bending forward. Fantastic. We have collected lots and lots of rubbish. After Carrie has collected all her rubbish, she sees Jenna, the jellyfish. Let's go back into our jellyfish pose. Feet together, bending forward and letting your arms wobble as they dangle down. Well done. Jenna is laying down on the sand. Come to lying on your backs as she enjoys the sun. When Jenna sees Carrie, she says, "Hey Carrie, what are you doing?" Carrie tells Jenna, "I am cleaning up the beach. I have collected all this rubbish and now I'm taking it to the bin." Jenna takes a look at what Carrie has collected, coming up onto your knees, and take out your super spectacles. Jenna says, "But wait! You've got lots of cards in that rubbish. Cards can be recycled, you know." Carrie looks at Jenna and says, "Recycled? What does recycled mean?" Jenna tells Carrie, "Recycled means it can be used again and again and again. They'll wash that card." Come onto your bottom with your legs crossed. Hook your hand together from the behind your head. We're going to twist at our tummy as we show a washing machine, as though it's washing our card. They'll wash that card and it will get broken down into lots and lots of little pieces. And then, open your legs out wide in front of you. Get your hands in front of you. We're going to roll forwards and backwards, leaning forwards and backwards. And then they will roll out the card, letting it dry. And once it's dry, it can be reused. Put all the cards in that special bin over there. Carrie, let's go back into our crab pose, bringing those knees together and bending in front of you, hands by your bottom and pushing up your hips. Carrie crawls over to the special card recycling bin, and places all her card and paper inside. Then back onto your bottoms and bringing your feet together so the bottoms of your feet are touching. And bend forward as she puts it all into the special bin. Then she carries on along the beach towards the main bin, carrying the rest of her collected rubbish. Suddenly, Sally Seagull, let's go back into our seagull pose, standing up with your feet together and bending forward with your hands together and then opening and closing your wings. Well done. Sally Seagull flies down to ask Carrie what she's doing. Carrie, back into our crab pose, to our bottoms on knees bent, hands by our bottoms and push up our hips. Carrie says, I am off to the bin to throw all this rubbish away that I have collected. Sally takes a close look at what Carrie has collected onto our knees and gets out those super spectacles. All of a sudden, Sally says, But wait! You've got loads of plastic bottles there. Plastic bottles can be recycled, as can lots of different plastic. Those bottles, let's go into a mountain pose to show our strong bottles. Standing up with our feet together, taking our hands by our sides, then rolling our shoulders up and down, showing our strong standing bottle. Those bottles will be melted. Bending forward and letting your arms drop forward as the bottles melt. And then the plastic will be built into something new. Let's go into a new plastic bottle. Standing straight again, putting your arms by your sides, rolling those shoulders up and down. Put all the plastic into that special bin over there. Carrie, back into our crab pose. Bottoms, your knees bent, hands by your bottoms and push yourselves up. Carrie crawls over to the plastic recycling bin and places all her plastic inside. Onto your bottoms and put your feet together so the bottoms of your feet are touching and bend forward as she puts all the plastic inside. Then she carries on along the beach towards the main bin, carrying the rest of her collected rubbish. Well done. On her way to the bin, Carrie passes the last rock pool. And there she sees Mark the mussel. Let's go back into our mussel pose, turning ourselves up small onto that rock, sitting on our knees and bringing our head down to the floor. Tucking your arms in at your sides. Mark sees Carrie and waves your arms in the air and wave them side to side. Well done. Mark asks Carrie what she is doing. Carrie tells him, I am cleaning up the beach. I'm taking all of this rubbish to the bin over there. Mark takes a good look at what Carrie has collected. Take out your super spectacles. And Mark says, but wait, Carrie. You've got loads of drinks cans in your rubbish. They can be recycled. They'll be broken down. Come to standing with your legs wide and then hook your hands together behind your back, and after three we're going to bend forward and bash the cans to break them down. 1, 2, 3, bash. And again, 1, 2, 3, bash. And one more time, 1, 2, 3, bash. Well done. When the cans have been broken down, they'll be made into new cans. Put all those drinks cans in that special aluminium recycling bin over there. Carrie, back into our crab pose. Bottoms, knees bent, hands by your bottoms, push your hips. Carrie crawls over to the aluminium recycling bin and places all of her drinks cans inside. Onto your bottoms with your feet together so the bottoms of your feet are touching, and bend forward as those drinks cans goes inside. Then she stops crossing your legs, and takes a look at the things she has left. Just 3 items. Carrie has a plastic bag. Carrie has some polystyrene. And Carrie has a dirty nappy. Carrie takes a good look at these 3 items. As Carrie is staring at them, Sally the seagull flies back over, standing with your feet together, bending forward and letting your arms drop, and then opening and closing your wings. Carrie looks at her and says, "What do I do with these?" Sally, come onto your bottoms, and then put your arms on top of each other so that your elbows are on top of each other and you can tweak, tweak, tweak like a bird. That's it. Well done. Sally says, "These items can't be recycled right now. For now they have to go in the bin. If you want to know if an item can be recycled, you need to look on the packet and you will see 2 or 3 arrows on the side that are curled around in a circle or a triangle. That means that they can be recycled." Oh, fantastic. Carrie now knows what to do. She takes her 3 last items and pops them into the beach bin. Whew. Carrie is exhausted. She lays down on her back in the sun. Lying on your backs, your hands by your side, and your legs straight and slightly apart. Carrie has worked so hard today, collecting all the rubbish left behind by the beach visitors. She also learnt all about recycling. Recycling is good for the environment, takes care of our planet. Carrie knows that in the future she will take care to look for those arrows on all of her rubbish. And then whatever can be recycled, she will place into the correct recycling bins, helping there be less rubbish thrown away in the future and more things being used again and again and again. Well done, Carrie. Now give your fingers and your toes a wiggle. Lift up your knees and give them a hug. And then roll onto your side and push yourselves up onto your bottom with your legs crossed. And after 3, we'll say our yoga goodbye, namaste. 1, 2, 3, namaste. Thank you for joining me in Little Diamond Yoga Stories today. See you again soon. Bye.